So apparently following someone on Instagram can now get you threats. And I'm not talking about following some controversial figure. I'm talking about literally just hitting the follow button on another Love Island contestant. But here's the thing though, what I'm about to unpack for you goes so much deeper than social media dramatics. We're talking about a fan base that's allegedly become so unhinged that major beauty brands are cutting ties, islanders are going into hiding, and people are getting cyberbullied for existing. And the revelation about what happened behind the scenes, I had to fact check it 3 times because it's absolutely wild. By the end of this video, you're going to question whether reality TV fandoms have completely crossed a line they can never come back from. Trust me, what's coming later in this story will make your jaw drop. Before we dive into this absolute chaos, smash that subscribe button if you love messy reality TV breakdowns delivered with a little sophistication. Hit the like button and definitely hit that new hype button. It's YouTube's latest way to support creators, and honestly, it helps us reach more tea lovers like you. Let's set the scene. Late October 2024. Huda Mustafa, Love Island USA. Season 7's most controversial contestant is doing an innocent live stream with her boyfriend Louis Russell. You know, typical influencer content. Answering fan questions, being cute, the usual. But then someone called in. And what happened next? Well, it sparked one of the most explosive controversies in Love Island history. But wait until you hear how the beauty industry responded. That's where this gets truly unhinged. During the live stream, a caller used a racial slur directed at Huda's former castmate, Olandria Carthen. And here's where it gets complicated. Huda and Louis appeared to laugh after hearing it, with the moment quickly going viral across social media. Now, was it nervous laughter? Shock? Genuine amusement? That's where opinions diverge faster than couples at Casa Amor. Here's what's really wild though. Huda later claimed she and Louis didn't hear that Olandria's name was mentioned, only the slur itself, and that they hung up immediately. She insisted the laughter was awkward discomfort, not entertainment. But the internet? The internet wasn't buying it. And trust me, the corporate response I'm about to tell you about shows just how seriously this situation escalated. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think nervous laughter in shocking situations is understandable? Or is there never an excuse? But here's the bombshell I'm about to drop that makes this exponentially messier. Now, Olandria could have gone nuclear. She had every right to, but what she did instead? Chef's kiss of maturity and class. And the way other islanders responded tells you everything you need to know about the villa dynamics that viewers never saw. Olandria responded by encouraging people to donate to organizations dedicated to educating and uplifting the Black community, including UNCF, NAACP, and the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. Imagine being targeted with a slur and your response is to promote education and positive action. That's the kind of emotional intelligence that reality TV rarely showcases. But it gets even better. Olandria stated that racism is never acceptable. Not in anger, not as a joke, not ever, emphasizing that words like that carry generations of pain. She added something particularly pointed, defending it, laughing about it, or making excuses is even worse. Now, was that a direct call-out? The implications certainly seemed clear to everyone watching. And here's where the villa solidarity came in. Or didn't, depending on your perspective. Several Love Island castmates spoke out, including Chelley Bissainthe, who stated that racism should always be checked right away and called it disgusting and disheartening, noting that she knows how deeply racial comments can cut. Hannah Fields and Iris Kendall also released statements condemning the behavior. But wait until you hear what happens next with the corporate response. It's absolutely unprecedented. Let me know in the comments. Would you have handled this with as much grace as Olandria? Or would you have been more direct? Okay, so here's where this goes from messy reality TV drama to legitimate career consequences. And the speed at which this happened? Absolutely wild. We're talking corporate decisions made in hours, not days. The twist coming up about fan reactions will make you question everything about social media activism. Huda Beauty, the influential makeup brand helmed by mogul Huda Kateb, officially ended their partnership with Huda Mustafa following the controversy.
So Huda Beauty has officially ended their partnership with Huda surrounding the backlash from her live stream. At Huda Beauty, kindness and humanity are at the heart of everything we do. Unfortunately, one of our recent collaborators has displayed behavior that does not align with our values. We are truly disappointed by Huda's recent live, and we take all forms of racism very seriously. While we don't believe her actions reflect her character, we found them deeply upsetting. We know that many members of our community and team were hurt and offended by these actions. While we value the partnership we have with Huda, her recent behavior and the way the situation has been handled does not reflect our brand's principles. As a result, we have decided to end our partnership and remove any related content from our social platforms and in-store displays. Accountability is incredibly important in moments like this, and we hope that meaningful change can come from it. So firstly, I do think that Huda Beauty did the right thing by ending their partnership, but I want to take this moment to talk to other brands as well that may be seeing all this happening and give something that I think a lot of brands ignore, because I really think all this could have been avoided. And going into this first paragraph, like I mentioned, it literally says on there that members of our community and team were hurt and offended by these actions. That is a huge thing that these influencers need to take note of as well is that these teams are multicultural. And when you sit over here and you do racist shit, there's going to be somebody in a powerful position at some team who is not going to take kindly to that. And that is how you lose endorsements. You cannot be going around and offending and being disrespectful to marginalized communities. Racism is not profitable. I don't know how many times we have to tell you racism isn't profitable for y'all to learn your lessons, but also for the people who have been racist all season in the comment section doing the most. Just know that one of these days, you're also going to face the consequences of your actions. You're going to apply to a job and they're going to do a background check and you're not going to get it. If y'all don't learn something from this, then you're going to find out the hard way.
Well said. Now, for context, this wasn't just any brand deal. This was allegedly one of Huda's biggest partnerships, and they dropped her faster than Islanders dropped their original couples at Casa Amor. The brand's statement? Absolutely unequivocal. The brand emphasized that the action was taken due to the lack of seriousness around the issue, noting this was about accountability, not canceling people. That distinction is fascinating, isn't it? They're essentially saying the initial reaction was the problem, not necessarily intentional malice. Comment your hot takes below. Do you think brands should move this quickly, or should there be more room for context and explanation? The fan reaction to this corporate decision? Oh, you're not ready for what I'm about to tell you. Save your shock for what's coming next. That's where it gets truly unhinged. Now, you'd think a brand making a principled stand against racism would be universally applauded, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Because this is where the Love Island fanbase showed just how frighteningly tribal it's become. And what happens with JaNa Craig will make you understand why people are asking if this fanbase has become genuinely dangerous. JaNa, a beloved Season 6 contestant, commented, "Love to see it," under Huda Beauty's statement about ending the partnership. That's it. 3 words. Expressing support for a brand taking a stand against racism. And what happened next? Absolute chaos. Huda Mustafa's supporters immediately came after JaNa in the comments, with one writing at JaNa Craig _ don't speak on Huda Ho. Charming, right? The level of discourse is truly Shakespearean. But here's where JaNa showed exactly why she's a fan favorite. She didn't back down one bit. When defenders rallied around her, JaNa responded.
JaNa commented this, saying, "Let them talk, baby. Misery loves company. Notice how none of them have the balls to show their face or drop their address? They not really about it." She made another comment saying, "Stay mad, baby. Don't forget to dream about me tonight." She made another comment saying, you mad." As you can see, JaNa is not hesitating from replying back to people in the comments.
But here's where it gets absolutely unhinged. Huda's fans aren't just attacking JaNa, they're going to her ex-boyfriend Kenny's social media to send him messages of support.
Now it seems that Huda fans are so upset, they took to Kenny's Instagram. They have been leaving comments like, "You did the right thing. I don't blame you, Kenny. King Kenny. I understand you now. Feeling sorry for you. You did the right thing. So sorry, King. Glad I never unfollowed you." Then somebody said, "Kenny, get her again." Somebody said, "Sorry for doubting you, buddy." They're still saying, "We owe you an apology, Kenny. We want to hear Kenny's side of the story. Sorry for ever doubting you, Kenny." Then somebody said, "Love these comments," and Kenny liked it. People are saying this is the worst fan base I've ever witnessed. Then he's liking them. This is truly sick.
Now to remind you, this is the ex that she ended things with, and all other fellow Love Island castmates unfollowed, due to alleged racist messages found in his phone. We've made a video covering that drama, so go check it out if you need a refresh. The revelation ahead about what happened to another Islander makes this look like child's play, though. Tell me in the comments, do you think JaNa should have just stayed silent, or was she right to speak up? So now we get to the part that made me realize this fanbase has completely jumped the shark. Because what happened to Leah Kateb, a Season 6 fan favorite who wasn't even on Season 7, is so absurd, so unhinged, that it reads like a parody of toxic fandom, except it's terrifyingly real. And the receipts she posted? Absolutely chilling. So here's the crime that got Leah targeted. She followed Olandria Carthen on Instagram. That's it. She hit the follow button on the woman who was the victim of a racial slur, and apparently, in the twisted logic of Huda's defenders, this was an act of war. Leah took to her Instagram stories recently with screenshots of the harassment she's been receiving, and what she revealed is genuinely disturbing.
These Huda defenders are getting out of control. Leah Kateb is now catching strays and she is not holding back. She took to her Instagram stories about 2 hours ago, sharing screenshots of messages that are coming into her DMs. And this is what she had to say in return. "No one is perfect. We all make mistakes. We all grow and we all try our best. But the way people have been treating the Islanders, past and present, is flat out heartbreaking. I haven't said a word, yet I've received off threats telling me to off myself, calling my home, and messages about harming my animals. all because I followed someone I was introduced to because our stylists are close friends, but that didn't fit their nasty narrative y'all wanted, right? This whole time, I've done nothing but wish the Islanders the best and extend my support to them privately. Every single Islander has reached a level of harassment that affects their mental. That's not normal. It's not right. Racism is not okay. Threatening people is not okay. Having this much hatred towards people you genuinely do not know is not okay. I don't think anyone ever expected things to reach such a cruel and toxic level. Accountability is one thing, but what's happening now has gone far beyond that. No one deserves this level of harassment. It may be entertaining to you, but this is real life to all of us. We are human beings with feelings, families, and lives much beyond what people see online. We're daughters, sons, friends, mothers, brothers, sisters, and more. Kindness costs nothing, but it can mean everything. Let's all remember that beyond every screen is a real person trying to get through life like everyone else. Please give everyone grace. Everyone is growing, learning, changing, evolving, always just like you are. This text is so tiny, but she adds, this bullying of everyone needs to stop before someone hurts themselves.
Let that sink in for a moment. Death threats, calls to her home, threats to harm her animals, because she followed someone on Instagram. This isn't passionate fandom. This is genuinely psychotic behavior. Now, you'd think that Leah exposing the death threats and harassment would make these people back off, right? Maybe realize they'd crossed a line? Absolutely not. Reading these messages made me genuinely concerned for humanity. Because the cognitive dissonance required to send these after someone pleads for basic kindness, it's staggering.
But as you can imagine, it did not end there with people coming and attacking her after that statement. Someone else messaged her, girl, you love attention so much, please, the biggest clout chaser, your time is over. I can't wait for Miguel to... What? Like what? She responds, damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is not normal. And her fans are truly unwell like gremlins, guys. Her last screenshot that she shares is this one. Someone says, but you're an undercover hater and we all see you for who you are. The same way you're excited about someone's downfall, we'll be waiting and excited for yours. Truthfully, Leah's never gonna have a downfall, let's be so for real. And she responds saying, and for the millionth and last final time I will ever speak on this, I don't hate anyone. From the bottom of my heart, I feel deeply for the entire season 7 cast because this is just beyond disgusting and toxic. I will never be excited for anyone's downfall. That's not my heart, nor will it ever be. I am truly upset at everything transpiring for everyone. I am genuinely praying for them all and hope that they don't let all this BS bother them, even though it's easier said than done. They are all very strong and I hope that they keep their heads up and take care of their mental health. I actually hope Peacock and Love Island helps with their therapy and mental health. Now please leave me alone.
Can you imagine? Having to defend yourself against accusations of being an undercover hater because you followed someone on Instagram? This is genuinely insane. Now, in the middle of all this chaos, Leah made an observation that cuts right to the heart of why fan-based toxicity affects certain people more than others. And what she pointed out about the gendered nature of this harassment? Absolutely on point. The pattern she identified will make you rethink how we discuss reality TV entirely. Leah wrote,
and the way the fans treat the women versus the men is something I will never understand. It's pitchforks for women over the smallest little things and cotton candy clouds for the men.
The double standard is glaring, and the fact that supporting a black woman who experienced racism makes you a target, that tells you everything about the racial dynamics at play in this fanbase. Here's where this gets really messy. You're probably thinking all this chaos started with the October livestream, right? Wrong. This has been going on since July. Huda's fans have been sending racist harassment for months. And here's the part that'll make your blood boil. Huda was asked to address it, promised she would, and then never did. Let me take you back to the season 7 reunion in August. Olandria and Chelley confronted Huda directly about the racist attacks they were getting from her supporters. And this wasn't just castmates calling each other out. Olandria and Huda were close in the villa. They were friends. So when Olandria got her phone back and saw the wave of racist hate from Huda's fans, she went to Huda and asked for help. According to Olandria, she told Huda, I really feel like it's important, especially if you consider yourself being very close to me, to speak out to your fans and address the racism. A friend asking another friend to tell her supporters to stop the racist messages? Pretty straightforward, right? But here's what happened next. Or rather, what didn't happen. According to Alandria, when they got to LA, Huda promised to make a post addressing the harassment. Except that post never came. 2 or 3 days went by and she hadn't even decided to address her people. Then Huda went on Call Her Daddy and talked about being bullied on the show. Fans assumed the bullies were Olandria and Chelley, the 2 black women who'd actually been supporting her. Olandria said they thought I was one of the bullies. That stuff added more hate. So not only did Huda not address the racism like she promised, she accidentally made it worse. For months, the harassment continued while Huda stayed silent. At the reunion, when confronted, Huda deflected. She said she was experiencing hate too and was dealing with so much. Fair enough, but experiencing racism yourself doesn't exempt you from addressing racism being done in your name. She eventually gave what can be described as a semi-apology, saying, I'm really sorry about that. I told people I don't want anybody getting hate. I don't want any bullying. Racism is wrong. But she still didn't make the public post that Olandria and Chelley had been asking for. Let's connect the dots because the pattern here is damning. Post Villa. Olandria asks Huda to address the racist harassment. Huda promises she will. She doesn't. The harassment continues unchecked. No public statement. Huda goes on, call her daddy, makes it worse. Reunion, verbal apology, but still no public post. October, the livestream incident. Huda Beauty drops her. JaNa supports the decision and gets attacked. Leah follows Olandria and gets threats. Calls to her home and threats against her animals. See the pattern? For months, Huda's fans terrorized people with racist harassment. Multiple people asked her to address it. She said she would. She never did. And it just kept escalating. One Instagram post back in August could have prevented all of this. If you're supporting me by attacking others with racism, you are not my fan. Stop immediately. That's it. That's all it would have taken. But that post never came. And now we have Season 6 contestants, people who weren't even on Season 7, getting threats for following someone on Instagram. So has Huda finally addressed her fans even now? Let's talk about that. So after months of people begging her to speak out, the brand deal lost. JaNa getting attacked, Leah getting threats. Surely Huda has finally made a clear statement telling her fans to stop, right? Not exactly. In her October apology about the livestream, Huda condemned the slur. She said she doesn't tolerate that language. She pledged to donate to the NAACP. She said racism is wrong, but here's what's missing. A direct address to her fan base. No to my supporters, if you're sending hate, threats, or racist messages to anyone, stop immediately. You don't represent me. It's the same pattern from the reunion. Apologize for the incident, condemn racism generally, but never directly tell the people actually doing the harassing to stop. After months of documented harassment and multiple people explicitly asking for help, a generic racism is wrong statement isn't enough. Her fans are still sending threats, is still attacking anyone who supports the victims, still thinking they're defending her by terrorizing others. And without a clear statement from Huda telling them to stop, why would they think otherwise? This isn't just about one person's inaction anymore. It's a systemic problem with how reality TV operates. Let's zoom out because this isn't just about Huda's fanbase. Season 7 as a whole has been a harassment nightmare. The scale is genuinely shocking. The harassment goes in every direction. Olandria was photoshopped onto George Floyd's body. Someone actually sat down and made that image. That's not fandom. That's something far darker. But Huda faced horrific abuse too. People used Islamophobic slurs, called her a terrorist, put her face on deceased Palestinian bodies. She called it probably the most horrific thing you could do as a human being. And she's right, that is horrific. Which makes it baffling that someone who knows how painful targeted harassment is wouldn't address her own fans doing similar things when explicitly asked. Chelley had to turn off Instagram comments after threats. Multiple Season 7 Islanders have talked about unprecedented harassment levels. This fanbase is attacking everyone. Victims, villains, and now people from completely different seasons who just followed someone on Instagram. So who's actually responsible for creating this toxic environment? It's not just fans making bad choices or influencers refusing to speak up. There's an entire production machine creating, enabling, and profiting from this behavior. But they're not documenting reality. They're creating villains and heroes, editing out context, then releasing contestants into an environment where fans have been manipulated to have strong feelings about them. Producers know what a villain edit does. They know fans will attack based on the story they're told. And when harassment escalates to threats and racism, they release statements about being against cyberbullying while using the same editing techniques that caused it. The Love Island casting team put out a statement acknowledging cyberbullying is a real issue that can deeply affect our participants. But is a statement enough when your business model depends on controversy that drives these reactions? Who bears the most responsibility? The fans sending threats? The influencers who won't address their fan bases, or the producers creating the environment that triggers it all? So does Love Island have the most toxic fan base? Let's recap. A racial slur on livestream. Brand deal canceled. Season 6 contestants getting threats and threats to harm their animals for following someone on Instagram. But here's the kicker. Months of racist harassment that Huda was asked to address. She promised she would. She never did. One post could have prevented all of this. The real story? A perfect storm of production manipulation, influencer inaction, and platform failure making harassment inevitable. Leah said it best. It may be entertaining to you, but this is real life to all of us. She warned, this bullying needs to stop before someone hurts themselves. Until there are consequences for the harassment, for influencers who won't address it when begged, for producers whose edits create it, this continues. Season 8 will be worse. Right now, controversy equals money. And people getting hurt? Collateral damage. So yes, Love Island is showcasing what happens when reality TV meets influencer inaction meets platform failure. Threats for clicking follow. Real trauma that lasts long after the trends die. What needs to change? Production stops villain edits. Platforms enforce policies, influencers take responsibility, and we remember these are real people. Should Huda have spoken up months ago? Are producers complicit? Where's the line between fandom and danger? Drop your thoughts below. If we don't address this, next season gets worse. If this changed how you see reality TV, hit like and subscribe for more investigations into toxic fandom and influencer accountability. Hit that hype button. Remember, behind every screen is a real person. Time we all acted like it. Until next time, spilling the tea one drop at a time and hoping we do better.